All right. And we're back. Actually, I should probably say we're getting started because the looks like the last video was complete garbage also. Let's see here. Yeah. Gotta reauthorize all the chat stuff. It looks like pain in my ass. Or not all the chat stuff, at least the Twitch stuff or whatnot. Giving it a little bit for people to show up anyways. All right, and I'm gonna turn on some music on Pretzel, which is supposed to be to listen to music while you're streaming and such. But Facebook seems to like to think that, oh, maybe I can link these two. But Facebook seems to think that that's all this copyrighted. Oh, okay, it looks like. Looks like we're connected now. Device not available. Oh, that's the regular camera. All right. So I'm just gonna go back over what I talked about last night, but kind of hard to say exactly what you said before, huh? Project Looking Glass, that's something in itself. I guess QAnon, I talked a little bit about it lately. I haven't followed much of the QAnon stuff, to be honest with you. But the Project Looking Glass stuff, thanks, John. I got this going out to all sorts of people, friends, people online. But, let's see here. Let's go back to our questions where we were at yesterday, and that's what we're going to kind of start with here. This was sent by someone who I guess was looking into the Project Mayhem 2012 stuff down the line after a while after it had already happened. You know what, I'm going to load up my Facebook stuff right here because I can't reply to any Facebook. Facebook stuff. I'm using Restream.io, and there's this app that lets you chat through all your stuff, but it doesn't. Yeah, Facebook's only read only. Is the Galatorg site certainly not what it used to be, but we got information. Project Mayhem stuff is always still up. No reason that will be taken down. I'm just going to be adding more information to all this stuff. If there's any particular information that you want to see first, start speaking up. Just you can comment on these videos. Through time, I'll probably also add you can comment on these videos. There we go. The gist of the live today is pretty much answering lots of questions that come my way. You can comment on these videos. These questions right here, particular ones that I had put. Sorry, I keep opening the video. The gist of the live today. There we go. But it's about Project Mayhem stuff, which a lot of people have questions about what it is, where it started, its origins, its how it evolved, the things that it evolved into, like Project Mayhem 2020, Cicada 3301, QAnon, what is the plan was. There's way more. There's going to be lots of information through various podcasts, and down the line, the podcasts will have probably more of a theme to them. But right now is mostly intro to what it is, what it was, where things have been. I'm probably only going to stream for about an hour right now. Last night I did about an hour and a half and talked about things. None of the voice worked. Well, after a couple minutes in, and I really only covered a couple of these questions. Got really sidetracked, but with all this material, it's really hard to figure out where to start. There are lots of angles to cover when talking about any of these things. But we'll start. We'll just, I guess, start by reading a lot of this. Oh well, actually, what I was talking about was the Project Mia or the Galatorg site. I do have all the old forum data. I'm sure people are interested in reading the old forum data and being able to communicate still. I'll get some forums up sometime down the line. I'm in no rush. I don't think people have any problem communicating with one another right now. And there also last night while I was streaming, I put the what is the plan threads up here. We'll cover that as we're going through questions a little bit. All right. Yeah, we're gonna kick the music on in the background. If Facebook somehow mutes a lot of this stuff, just go check this out on Twitch or YouTube. The links are in the comment to both of my channels there, both of the live streaming channels. go for epic music today. That's what channel this is on again. Alright. Here's the first set of questions. Well, this was basically an email sent to me from someone. I'll mention who they are down the line if they'd want to be known. Here's the first set of questions. What I'll probably do is ask some more follow-up questions later. The reason I'm asking these questions is to know how PM 2012 evolved into 2020, PM 2020, and how PM 2012 and PM 2020 relates to Cicada 3301 and QAnon, if it does at all. I'm also thinking about writing a fictionalized story that deals with some of this, and I want to get some details and facts correct. Well, first of all, we talked about PM 2012. This is Project Mayhem 2012. And same thing with 2020 is Project Mayhem 2020. We got QAnon and Cicada 3301, which are, yeah, we'll talk about that stuff too. Number one, what was the purpose of WITP? What is the plan.org website? What were the three phases? Was PM 2012 the result of WITP, or was PM 2012 something separate? PM 2012 was something separate. PM 2012. Oh geez, I remember explaining this last night. That was fun.
Right. First of all, I guess the best way to start this is Anon. What is Anon? Well, I'd say that Anonymous itself really mostly stemmed out of computer geeks and hackers, people that grew up on the internet, and you end up forming IRC channels. Those were really where people started forming. You never would have called it anonymous then. You're just, geek groups or hacking groups or freaking groups. And freaking is pretty much something that's going extinct nowadays, I guess, is actually phone hacking, landlines, kind of stuff that doesn't hardly even exist nowadays. But that's where you get things like Frack Magazine and 2600. Like these are computer hacker cultures, and hackers aren't just about people breaking into computers, really. Yeah, that's a whole other thing to talk about, I guess. But so I don't know, you got geeks forming. This is 80s, 90s, maybe 90s, really, and maybe other younger people joining in, other geeks, later 90s, saying, this is probably about when I'm joining this and really getting into computers. I grew up with computers myself in the 80s and 90s. And, you learn from the older hackers, or you learn from the older people, people that know what they're doing. At the time, information was a lot harder to come by. The internet really changed the world. all your information came from books, and you had to get lucky enough or rich enough, lucky enough to find a book, or rich enough to be able to buy a book. So nowadays, you can find say information all over the place to learn how to program. Well, from there, there's a whole psychology factor into it all. Well, I guess you could say computer geeks have their own kind of psychology, right? That kind of stuff eventually grew into things like 4chan and whatnot, and that's really kind of where you started getting the name of Anonymous. Something that was more to be considered an entity. Like Anonymous is an egregore itself. We'll talk more about egregores. Like really, egregores are probably the key to all magic. I don't know. In my opinion, of course, So we get thrown into things like 4chan and whatnot. And this is where things start growing a bit into more of what people think of as especially with like things like 4chan, this is where you actually started getting like what we would call today memes. I think what we call memes today is more an example of what a meme is. It's not actually what a meme is. The word meme. That's a word that's been around for a while, well before the internet was popular. We'll talk about those too. That's one topic that we really come up with our project team of teens, memes, and teens. Tame them. Like through memes, you could say media controls the public. The public is controlled by memes, right? We take control away from the media. Media is pretty much almost considered just a laughing stock nowadays, or it's very much in question, right? I think it's like the So you get stuff growing out of 4chan, and then you start getting things like a non-ops forming, and that's this is one of your big anonymous things that I guess you could say is really why you know Anonymous, because non-ops were sloppy to a degree, I guess, but well, not sloppy. That's a bad word for it. People are assholes, I guess, It takes one bad apple to ruin the crowd sometimes. But the non-ops guys were the guys that were really kind of shutting things, or hacking into stuff. These were the guys that you actually really kind of heard about. Not that there weren't other groups too that you would hear about. Well, through the early 2000s, Anonymous, the idea of what Anonymous was grew. That egregore became its own beast. It's how do you explain it? But it grew. People started actually knowing what Anonymous was. Excellent. Well, I just adjust something here. Yeah, this music's not important or anything anyways. I think I have my microphone all the way up too, so hopefully this will make the sound a little bit better here. So we have Anonymous growing in the early 2000s, becoming more popular. People actually kind of know what it is, and it's known as this hacker group to be afraid of because it's starting to kind of bash on corruption a little bit. And then about 2011 rolls around. TM 2012, I want to say, came out. I saw it end of 2010, beginning of 2011, somewhere around there. This was out. The Project Mayhem stuff was out before What Is the Plan. I came across Project Mayhem on Stumble Upon. That's a fun little program that I used to have in my browser. You just hit the stumble button and it jumps you to a random website that people have added to it. You might jump within the computer field, or you might jump within the art theme or whatnot if you want. But jumping around, that's how I came across Project Mayhem 2012. So I know it was definitely out before any of the What Is the Plan stuff. I don't see the two being related at all. Project Mayhem wasn't anything, or Project Mayhem 2012 was not anything big at the time. It's it was mostly, I guess you could say, something that maybe some anons or some computer geeks knew about a little bit. I don't think too many people really dug a whole lot into it before What Is the Plan. Around 2011 is when the What Is the Plan stuff came out. And What Is the Plan to me was more of an evolution of Anonymous. It's really kind of where Anonymous metamorphosed into this whole new beast. Before, Anonymous was more of like this hackers kind of group. It was more than just hackers. Still, it's not like everyone in the Anon, or a lot of them were just computer geeks, or maybe just spreading information. I mean, you have whereas groups and stuff like that, where there's PC games spreading, there's PlayStation games spreading, Dreamcast games spreading. This is a lot of all this stuff is mainly stemmed out of like IRC and the hacker type of groups. This is when you had like real hacker groups like Cult Dead Cow and Legion of Doom and uh, I don't know. It was a different world then. There's still similar tones, but it was different. And what is the plan to me is kind of like Occupy mashed up with Anonymous. And it's where the Anonymous egregore evolved into something that was a lot more, it was a lot huger in size, and it was certainly a lot more powerful. Definitely not as, I mean, not to say it was ever really organized, but a lot more organized than, or disorganized than it was. But what is the plan is kind of where it's like it's where the fire was lit. It's where this is it's the kind of thing. I would say this is what a really big part of what 2012 was. To be honest with you, like a lot of saying with the cycles and such. To me, I see 2012 as a year, or even leading up to it, years of when great awakenings had been triggered or started. Nothing. It's not. It's all a process. Don't expect. Don't expect to not work for it. um, and that's where I've been for the last number of years. Really, the last 3 years have been especially crazy. The dark side is real, and they will come after you. I don't know. You could also chalk it up to Kundalini awakening kind of thing. It's Don't accidentally trigger a Kundalini awakening. Do not do that. It's no surprise why people end up killing themselves or losing their shit otherwise. So what is the plan? Came out, and it in itself, I wouldn't say it was huge in itself. Neither Project Mayhem 2012 or What is the Plan, neither of them were really huge. I guess it depends on what you say huge too. Like, it's not to say these were dead websites or anything. But What is the Plan was basically just forums. It's pretty much what you got there, and it's where forums where people were able to discuss plans for Occupy, basically. And I guess if you were to say what the three phases were, I specifically can't remember at all what these three phases were or whatever, but I would say that the ultimate real plan of it all would have been along the lines of Occupy, or getting things moving to start to make the world a better place. How can you be so general, right? That's all everybody's really trying to do. Well, not everybody, I guess, but it's all a lot of people really want. That's all most people want in life is just happiness and things go well. But you got lots of people that don't give a fuck. You could say it's you go into various sins, like say the seven deadly sins. Like yeah, you could point at a lot of those kinds of things. Sorry, when I say a lot of this stuff, other things come up, especially since I was talking about that Kundalini awakening stuff. So what happened is you started, or what is the plan came up? People started using it, started finding out, oh, hey, we'll set up, we're going to go occupy here, or here are some operations that we're going to do. It was very, anonymous flavored. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go. I'm going to load up that site right now. Show you what it looks like. 'Cause what is the plan has definitely been gone for quite a while, and so is the Project Mayhem website. All right, if you go to this website right here, I moved this back at least for right now. I'm going to try to get this into some other better format, like PDF files or something. But it's basically some HTML files that Anonymous had saved off, and I don't know. Personally, that makes me a little bit on edge because I don't know what's all it. I'm not going through all the HTML files and making sure there's nothing vulnerable. I just want to go through and PDF them sometime. But this is where it started. Out of curiosity, does the plan draw parallels with Project Mayhem 2012, or is that something completely separate? It's pretty much the question that is being asked here. I'm under the assumption that this was basically the manifestation of it. I mean, depends how you want to look at it. You could say that yes, it is an absolutely a manifestation. Depends how you want to look at it. You could say that yes, it is an absolutely. All right, there's a link that I posted into the Facebook. Huh. You type it when I type in a link. Here. This is this. Oh, it does. Oh, it does show the chat. Okay, cool. I type it in. It's got that slash. It turns it into a smiley automatically. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I guess you could say the plan may have been a manifestation of it. I don't really think that the person that created and purchased the web names for the site were like the same people or same groups or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I'd say that they weren't because well, they didn't kick us off the forum or anything. The thing is the Project Mayhem thread on the What is the Plan website was probably a quarter of the website. It was like a quarter of all the posts on the website. You know, if you look in this latest topic things that's scrolling by here, sometimes you'll see why I'm losing faith in the plan. I don't read Portuguese or whatever that is. But you know, it's people basically posting good information on how to do stuff, on how to set up Occupy kind of stuff, how to get Occupy kind of stuff going in your area. There was, I think, in the gallery section here, we had, you know, various flyers you could download and print off. But it was primarily just this forum, and in the general discussion, general topics, it was off topic discussion. You know, it wasn't ever really considered part of the plan, but the people that went to the site, a lot of people flocked to the Project Mayhem thread. We actually ended up with, if you look here, looks like about 85 pages worth of threads. And with the What is the Plan thread, that's actually where I would say the Project Mayhem stuff also really took off. Prior to, let's look here. Prior to the What is the Plan thread, all there really was this page and this page. And this page right here is huge. The big thing about all of this Project Mayhem stuff is what was in the source code, which screw Internet Edge or Microsoft Edge bullcrap. I should probably really get going on. Yeah, screw all that. I don't even know how to view source in Edge. I don't really use Edge a whole lot, but I am right now. Anyways, a lot of these, damn the man, stage 1. A lot of these words contain videos. And these videos, a lot of them really had to do about synchronicities and exploration of spirituality. Robert Anton Wilson and reality tunnels. So I mean, it's not surprising that a lot of ARG stuff formed out of it. I guess we're already kind of jumping to the second question here, but I mean, I guess we've already answered question 1 here. But there's more that I'm gonna cover on that question still too. So What is the Plan really kind of got the fire started on Project Mayhem, and people had a place where they're actually actively discussing the Project Mayhem stuff, and I think that's what it really needed in order to get going. Because dig up the source code. I'm going to be working on this map. I got to redo this whole graphic. A lot of these, the yellow numbers link to source pages. It's basically the source code of the page put on there, which is where a lot of the information ever actually was. Like, this is, most of the pages were just an image. Oh, nice. All right, looks like someone has, I guess there's PDF stuff out there. I'll definitely have to get a hold of that. Thank you. Thanks for that link. But we'll get that on the website sometime too, or at least, at the very least. Oh yeah, Scribd. Yeah, we'll probably just post a link to it here. Um, but like right here, when I had this on Joomla before, I had to break the source code up into separate pages. That's why there's 1, 2, 3. But like right now, 1, 2, and 3 all actually link to the same thing, because now that I'm coding it, I'm able to toss it all right on there. And actually, this is right here is one thing that you'll see in there a number of times. This was exploration of magic. Grant Morrison and Chaos Magic was talked about quite a bit. Aleister Crowley, Invisibles. I don't know, like all. The world is a very synchronous place. Getting into the Project Mayhem stuff, I would say, I mean, that's why. How do I even go about this? There's a lot of people. This Project Mayhem stuff, I would say, had definitely triggered awakening in a lot of people. It had definitely. This is also probably why you see some of the psychosis that's going on out there. Uh, Crazy stuff that's going on out there. The thing is there's actual truth in a lot of things that they say. It's not to say that they're right or anything, but a lot of them do it as an ARG, and I guess down those lines you're able to actually explore thoughts, explore possibilities, but just be careful when you're traveling down those kinds of rabbit holes, because those kinds of rabbit holes can get very deep, and you can lose sight of reality. It's not to say reality is how you probably think it is. We all have much to learn. Um, yeah, we'll cover all that. We'll talk about that stuff more later, some other time. But anyways, people started talking. All right, and I don't know if I. Yep, I typed this one in. This right here was the original source. Game is like a mirror that allows you to know yourself. Such a great quote. Really. That's. I also like to think a mirror is like a game that allows you to know yourself. I like to think it the other way too. Um, and they both have profound different meanings, but similar meanings. Anyways, a lot of, like you see, a lot of this was with mostly just quotes. Uh, examples of, like your starling swarms. I think they're sterlings. How this is called emergent behavior. It's actually the way this actually works. There's yeah, it's called emergent behavior. Each individual bird, none of them have any plans on what they're doing.
These spectacular aerial displays are seen between October and February, when birds pour into Rome from all over Northern Europe.
But following the flight patterns that or flight behaviors that they follow, along with one another,
to create such perfect synchrony,
as a whole, they form these swarms. I guess, like, looking at all this stuff now, like, I'm sorry if I like pause a little bit, because my mind blows up every now and a little bit just thinking about some of this stuff, because I find so much synchronicity nowadays. So much synchronicity. And you just see how everything is so tied together. It in itself is a very mind fucking thing. True initiation never ends. And I'll tell you what, there's different levels of awakening. When I first started into any of this stuff, I thought I was, at least fairly awake. But yeah, about 3 years ago, I definitely learned that there is more to it, and there's more to this awakening. And the people that had gotten into this Project Mayhem stuff, I actually saw going through a lot of this stuff. I also I'm it's enough to make you personally worry, like, oh, am I causing this? Like, oh, I started going through some crap, then all of a sudden all these other people start going through some crap. Am I pushing out this energy through, say, the egregore, or egregores that people are connected to me through? Or I've always definitely had a certain aura about me just going through life, and people in my life can attest to that. Probably not. I'm not your normal person, but I'm not out there. Well, I'm out there, but I'm not. I'm normal too, right? What is normal? The secret is there is no secret. Or maybe yes, but secret is there is no secret. It's just a matter of finding the answers, but also be careful what you're looking for, because just because you're looking for something, you very well might find it, but it might not come in the form that you expect or want. Matter of fact, you might want it to not come in the form that it does. But I don't know. Stuff has a way of bringing it back to you purposely, saying, "Oh yeah, this is what you said. This is what you wanted." It's like, no, way to be a dick. Yeah, but some of the weird stuff is like some of the people that I have also seen going through this, like, wow, almost all the old Project Mayhem people had gone through some of this stuff recently. We haven't talked about it. Well, I've talked about it a little bit with some of them, but it's definitely enough to make you feel like, say the the powers that be are coming against you or whatnot. But I don't know how you put it. I think most people on this physical planet are mostly just directed or guided. You could say God works in mysterious ways, right? Thing is the real truth is deeper than most people are really willing to look, and then that's where you actually start getting into, the devil's taken over, or oh, greed's taken over the world. Everybody's got their own explanation for it all. I don't know. Sometimes it's about the journey, not the destination, right? Another good movie that I didn't see in these lists, Peaceful Warrior. That's where that quote was from. I'm sure it's
else, but that's a good movie if you ever check it out. Peaceful Warrior. So Project Mayhem kind of started on fire with what is the plan? People actually started talking about it. Yeah, just those first 2 pages. Most of what was really just talked about in the pages was, or in source pages, was uh, try out some magic, try out some magic, research things, learn. And they're all like spiritual things, and yeah, some of it was like alternative reality game things, and like up here you see like uh, list of social networking websites, virtual communities, more than 100 million users. Where a bit of the talks were about viralizing things. That's what that stuff was about, and I guess you could say that this is partially what I'm doing here. Um, Metamorphosis happened, the second wave approaches. First wave was 2011, 2012. Second wave that's approaching should be 2020, 2021. Whoever knows what forms they come in, but that's, this is I mean, most people can even feel it coming, you know. I mean, we're always like, oh yeah, something's on the horizon, something's always on the horizon, isn't it? But I guess how many people would say that something happened in 2012? Like I was discussing a little earlier, that this is when the Occupy stuff really picked up. I consider 2012 to really kind of be a start of a massive awakening of the masses of the world. There's still plenty of ways to go. Sorry, my dog was getting into crap. Or he was about to take a crap, one of the two. All right. So people started actually discussing the Project Mayhem 2012 stuff, started actually doing some artwork and sending stuff in, as was kind of said in the source code, which was part of it. Create some art, what you want to see in the world, something along those lines. One of these times we'll actually go through the source code. Like, there's so many things to cover. People started posting things, and then we started getting more pages besides these first two. Every now and then we'd get another page, and basically how it worked is you just click on it, and it go click on the image from the previous page and go to the next page. In the meantime, discuss things that were in all the previous files, previous source pages, or do the work, or I don't know. There was quite the egregore formed out of it, really. And since then, it's really, I don't know, it's gone places. It's grown arms, some of which are like, mutated 10-inch long arms with 30 fingers and whatever. I don't. You basically have various groups now that are in your Project Mayhem, which where you get say Project Mayhem 2020, QAnon Cicada 3301 stuff. I don't know that Cicada 3301 stuff was originally part of any of this stuff. It, uh, I haven't looked at many of the puzzles. I only looked at, the first couple years when it had originally came out. Damn it. Mind wipe. All gone. Don't even know what I was talking about. Gotta love when that happens. I've seen someone else, some of the ARG stuff, talking about that. And it's not like you just lost where you are. It's it's more than that. It's just it's like gone. It's like, what were you doing? I'm hardly even know what I was talking about other than the how Project Mayhem stuff grew into its own little arms and stuff, and you got the ARG groups and uh, whatnot. Oh, and the cicada stuff, right? QAnon. I don't even know about QAnon, but I hadn't really looked much into it. But recently, there's some talk, something that comes up about the looking glass stuff, and to me this is huge. Like, this is like that, I don't know that there was their project, but that type of technology is real, and it makes the whole thing like a big crazy game of time chess. It can leave people feeling like they're John Connor or something. Of course, they try to manipulate people like that too. I don't know. It's some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you are like, "Oh my gosh, this guy, that sounds like he's nuts." I don't know. It's about time for me to go to lunch with my kid. Oh, two of my kids, taking a couple of them. We'll be back in a couple hours, and we'll move on to question 2. I think this one's, I think I mostly, definitely more than covered that stuff. Yeah, the results. I don't know, but what is the plan in Project Mayhem? Both fueled each other, I would say. Oh boy, we got shite. You say shite or you say shitty? I'd always said shite, but assuming it's the same shite. But we got a couple guys. At least watch. I say guys. I don't know. I can't say 100% that they're guys. I'll just could be girls. Just say guys. But um, that were part of the Project Mayhem 2012 stuff. Watching for sure. All right. So. And yeah, well, maybe when I come back, also, if any of you guys want to join in on here and speak up, have your say, you can certainly. Shitty. Oh, all right. I guess that makes sense. Considering it's the E with the mark over it. No, they aren't watching you, but if you comment. Oh wait. Well, it depends on they are watching us. No, I'm talking about you guys. You guys were part of the Project Mayhem stuff, and I would consider you guys to be a pretty big part of Project Mayhem. um. So, I mean, I guess yeah. Screw it. We'll blend right into some of these other questions here quick. Before we sign off, I was gonna go at 2, so I got another 15 minutes. So you had your Project Mayhem 2012 stuff, and it wasn't just creating artwork. Uh, you got music, like like some rap songs, as in Shite here, Anon Shite had put together. Maybe we'll start off with his video next when I come back. Anyways, Project Mayhem 2012 grew, and neither, after what is the plan website really didn't last too long. I don't know if they only had so much money for hosting or something. It's not like it's. Yeah, we'll not even deal with that. Yeah, is basically I'm assuming they didn't feel like paying for the website anymore or dealing with any of the stress that it takes to manage a highly busy website. But the Project Mayhem 2012 stuff, reading in the source code stuff, some of what they had to say. My robot? Or my robot? Okay. Is my sound